Hi, I'm Pete DiStefano. I'm a solutions architect from the Enterprise East team, and today I am presenting a short video on GitLab's test management capabilities. So let's get started here. GitLab's test management capabilities are part of the verify stage. You can see in here that things such as code quality, code testing and coverage, web performance, usability testing, and accessibility testing are things that I'll be covering today. I'm going to focus today on capabilities that are currently part of GitLab today. You'll see that coming soon uh, oops, you'll see that coming soon here is load testing. And if I click ahead, also I wanted to point out that under plan is quality management. Quality management is coming soon, and this really will affect the overall how we manage all the testing capabilities that we have and how they're presented and everything. I'll touch upon this a little bit at the end, but it's really not the focus today. The focus today is the capabilities we have today and really within the verify stage here. So this is a nice slide that just helps you understand generally how testing works. With a number of tests, you have a lot of unit tests that you start with, and then as you get higher up, you get into things like integrated tests and end-to-end testing, but you don't do as much of that testing. Those are done at higher level environments. I did provide a link at the bottom here that you can, if you're interested in the testing guide, this is actually how we test at GitLab, but it gives some good information on how customers out there would need to test as well. So that's why I provided this in here. So we're going to quickly just talk about different types of tests that you may or may not be familiar with. The first is a unit test. These are going to be where you're interested in testing the individual units of source code. So these would be tests that are inside your GitLab project that generally would get executed as part of the test stage. And we're going to take a closer look at those and what some of the benefits are as we talk about some of the other stages within GitLab here. Regression is the ability to rerun functional and non-functional tests where you're trying to make sure that anything that you developed and tested before still performs after a change. So this is something that also could be supported within the test stage. It would be typically something like a group of tests that would be run here. Integration testing, this is where you have, you're more concerned with individual software modules as they're combined. You want to make sure that they work as a group. So this is generally done in a higher level environment. Could be a staging environment, could be even something before production that a customer may have here. And it's good to note that while there may not be direct support out of the box for performing integration tests, really with the GitLab CI, we can really execute any type of script or even interface with other tools via API calls or scripts as well. So we can certainly support integration testing, but it's more going to be through things like APIs and scripting. End-to-end is really a methodology where you want to make sure that if I submit some data on the front end, that data is going to flow through my application, and the application is going to perform as designed, and that data is going to end up in the correct state here. So once again, that would be a higher level environment. And once again, we can do that through executing via the command line or REST API calls, maybe to a different tool as well. And then finally, performance testing, you're going to be interested in checking the speed and response times of some of the calls that are being made here. And we do support that. We support web performance testing as part of our CI process. And also we have a GitLab performance tool. I'm not really going to talk too much about that, but it is available. So let's just take a closer look at the verify stage here. The first thing we're going to talk about is code testing and code coverage. Once again, this is going to be the testing where you have maybe unit tests or regression tests that you're going to execute. They're going to generally be part of a GitLab project. One of the benefits of having them in a GitLab project is they're going to be versioned. So if somebody changes those tests, you'll see who did it, when they did it. We view this category as a minimal level of maturity. And once again, this would be generally executed. It can be executed through auto DevOps. We have a test job, but customers certainly can write their own, within their own YAML. They can call their own testing very easily here. I'm going to just flip to a quick demo here. So I just wanted to show within this project here. If I go to source, we're going to have a test folder. These are where my tests are actually going to get run here. If we flip down to the pipeline here, this is, if I go into this pipeline, we'll see that we have our test job that's going to run here. And if I click into the test job, you can see the results here. Now, we do have the ability, it's not really built right into GitLab today, but you can certainly take this information that's coming back here and you could feed it into a merge request. It's going to look something like this. I have another project. The other one didn't actually do that. But if we go into this merge request, this is the same concept here, where if we open this up here and I expand, you'll see that we have this data now from the test being fed back into my merge request. There's instructions on how to do it. It really depends on the type of code that we're working with here. So I did want to at least point that out here. Okay, I'm going to talk a couple other things that we have today. We have code quality. This is where we're analyzing our source code to making sure we have good quality code that's going to last for a long time. This, once again, is at a minimal category of maturity. It was introduced in 9.3, and it's available in Starter and Bronze. Once again, you can call the code quality job. It's actually part of the test stage in auto DevOps, but there's the YAML out there. All you have to do is include that into your pipeline or into your main YAML to be able to call code quality jobs there. Web performance testing, once again, this is going to make sure that it's for web browsers, software in your browser, making sure that it's meeting the performance requirements. It's generally, when you run it the first time, it sets that level, and then what it'll do is it'll check and make sure as changes are made, if you're affecting the performance, if it's improving or not. This is a minimal level of maturity, and it was introduced in 10.3, and it's available in Silver and Premium. And once again, you can use the YAML that's included in Auto DevOps here as an include in your other YAMLs if you're writing the CI pipeline yourself. Usability testing is, you just want to make sure that when you whatever you build is actually understandable and valuable to your users. This is where we would do things like visual reviews, where you spin up a review app where somebody can go in there and view it and make sure it looks like it's supposed to. Those comments we get fed back into your merge request. And then finally, accessibility testing. That's really where you want to make sure that we're building software the right way so that it's accessible to people out there that may have some challenges here. So there's actually a tool that is available to do that. We have a YAML file called the accessibility.gitlab CI YAML. It's not included in Auto DevOps, but you certainly can add that if you're building your own pipeline or if you wanted to add it to Auto DevOps yourself here. So that's really what I wanted to talk about as far as testing. I am just going to briefly just go over a couple things of what's to come here. Just there's a quality management MVC out there that just talks about how we're going to be doing quality management in the future here. And just to give you an idea, some of the things that are out there, besides tying all our tests to things like requirements and compliance, we're going to present these things either as issues or epics, where we'll be able to manage a group of these things. This is something we're working on today. It's not quite finished, but I thought I would at least show you where to look if you're interested in seeing what's going to happen. I think this is scheduled to happen this year, actually. So anyway, that's all I wanted to present. Hope you found this useful, and thank you very much. Have a good day.